Hey everybody, welcome back to Havoc Maker Studio. My name is John. Hoping you guys had a great weekend. So before we dive back into the second video for Star Wars Shatterpoint, kind of a slight, not really an update, but really some clarification video and maybe even raising more questions. I would like to go ahead and let you guys know that yes, we're still going to be doing the giveaway for this weekend. I still have the rest of today to do the giveaway for, well, this weekend. Those of you that might be like, what giveaway, John? Well, the channel is giving away something every weekend between the first weekend of November, which was last week, and the last weekend of December. So it's our holiday giveaway every weekend. We have stuff from Reaper Miniatures, Atomic Mass Games for Star Wars and for Marvel Crisis Protocol. We've got Warhammer 40,000. We have Age of Sigmar. We have Monument Hobby paints and brushes and Reaper paints too. They're newer paints. We have a ton of stuff. We have a starter set for the Bushido miniature game from GTC Games. The complete starter set with two different factions, the rule book, everything. We have probably like $600-700 now worth of stuff, if not more. And that's even if we get through all that, we still have a big giveaway. If we meet a certain goal by the end of December 31st, if we get 1,000 subscribers by December 31st, we are going to be giving away a massive, and we will get pictures, I promise you, up on Instagram and Facebook, and even have a video here for a massive Blood Angels army. Really well painted. And when I say massive, I mean massive. Like more than a standard 2,000 point. Like you've got pretty much every option available to you type of size, just so you guys get the idea of the scope. A lot of customization, whatnot, etc. So how do you do that? You need to be a subscriber. Right now, that is the number one thing you need to be for this channel. You see that red button down there that says subscribe? Hit it and be a subscriber. And if you don't have an account, take 1 to 2 minutes to go ahead and create a YouTube account. You can pause the video, open up another window, knock that out really quick. Make sure that you attach an email that's yours, obviously. Whether it's your primary email or you have a secondary email, like I have 3 email accounts. So, junk mail and Havoc Maker Studio, my private email, that sort of thing. Make sure that you have an email attached to your YouTube account so you can be contacted by me if you are the winner. And also, when you're creating that, there's usually an option in the settings where it says allow people to see if you're subscribed or not. If I can't see that you are a subscriber because you're hiding that, I can't include you in the giveaway. I appreciate your support. That's really super awesome if that's what you're doing. But if you're wanting to participate in the giveaway, please make sure you have that clicked off and make sure that you have an email that I can contact you. Because if I don't have either of those, both of those, really, if I don't have both of those, I can't do anything for you. And like I said, if you're just doing it to support the channel, boy, do I appreciate it. Much love for you guys. So let's talk about Shatterpoint. First up, I need to say that some of the stuff I might say might sound like an attack or controversial, maybe even hypocritical. I might dip in and out of being hypocritical about stuff, which feel free to call me out on, but it's not personal, right? So what could I be talking about? Well, let's start with the Star Wars Shatterpoint Atomic Mass Games Facebook page. Thank God they created this Facebook page, because if they had not, their regular Facebook page would be just, I think, inundated. It would be just flooded with posts. And all you have to do is just look at this page and see how many posts popped up in the first day or two. It's just a never-ending tide of, I want this, I want that. Are you going to do this? You need to tell us now. Do this, do that. And hey, is anybody excited about this? Or what do you guys think about this? What's everybody's theories about X, Y, Z? It's a lot more demanding post and then fan posts. and it's hard to navigate. But we're going to try to clear it up because I think this just at least settle people down. I am not telling you to post your questions or your fan theories or your requests, right? I'm just going to, and I'm not even going to focus on any particular post because I don't want anybody to feel like they're being attacked. Just making you aware that there's a lot of, actually, there's no information outside of what they've already given us on this page. Still go ahead and join because this will be the best way to get official updates from Atomic Mass Games. But there's plenty of great speculation posts. There's even links to other videos. Eventually, this will be on. This video is probably already on there. That might be how you found it, and which it's all great. Just you guys, please realize, especially really for the people that are new to the tabletop skirmish game experience and the hobbying with miniatures, you're brand new to it, or maybe you're brand new to Facebook or the whole works. Just realize that Atomic Mass Games, they're very likely not going to be responding to your questions about, is the Bad Batch going to be in there? Is the crew of the Phoenix from Star Wars Rebels going to be in there? Are we going to be seeing the people from the Andor series or from, I don't know, the Star Wars Legacy stuff? Are we going to be seeing any of that? They're not going to tell us. They're not going to tell us until they are ready. You can ask all day. They're not going to say anything until they're ready. And if you're worried about what they are or not going to do, or if they even know about certain things, they are working hand in hand with Lucasfilm on this. That's part of the licensing with this. We know that much. Just like with Marvel, they have to go through an approval process going, hey, this is what we want to do. So we want to do Clone War stuff, right? Right now, Clone War stuff. This is what we want to do. Can we do it? Yes, 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 no, no, yes, no, no, yes, yes. Pretty much, they're just going to go down that line saying what they cannot do. And they'll work hand in hand, make sure the sculpts are good, make sure the rules, the flavor, everything exists with Lucasfilm, right? Or with the Star Wars universe. I'm not talking about Disney Star Wars. I'm just talking about Lucasfilm. And I know they're not necessarily separate, but they kind of are. Anyways, they're working with Lucasfilm and Star Wars, their Star Wars portion, segment, branch, whatever you want to call it, that focuses on the products and licensing out the IP. So they know about Star Wars Rebels. They know about the Legacy. They know about Mara Jade. They know about this stuff. I mean, they're working with the creators of Star Wars, so they know it's okay. I hope that everybody's wish list comes true. I'm just saying, just don't expect an answer. Especially, that's really geared towards the people that are new to this. Don't expect an answer, guys. Sorry to crash right there. Still put up your fandom. Still be excited about it and make your post. Just don't expect anything, right? Don't be upset. That's really the thing, is don't be upset and start blasting Atomic Mass Games and tagging them and everything with your discontent if you're not happy that they're not responding to why the droids cartoon from the 80s or 90s is not being included, right? Was it 80s or 90s? I think it was 90s. Anyways, so let's move on to something a little bit better here. That whole caveat is just to kind of give you guys a heads up, right? So here's what this web page, this Facebook page, has kind of unleashed upon us. And there's a lot of misinformation because there's no information, right? Which is still fine because fan theories and trying to figure things out, that's what we do, right? So the first thing I want to talk about, which is one of the most, I think, talked about things on YouTube videos, of course, on the Facebook page, on other news pages like IGN, not Gamma, but Game Trade Magazine, all these things that are talking, everybody's talking about it, is the scale. We don't know the scale. All right, guys, let's just go ahead and put that out there. They have not told us what the scale is. They've shown us pictures, obviously, of of the miniatures and their base sizes. They have shown us them in one of the videos, I think it was on Twitch, where they had two people standing in front of the display board with all the miniatures that they've shown so far, which is not necessarily in the starter box. We'll get to that in a little bit. But they have not shown us everything, or they've shown us everything, and they've shown us the scale of the miniatures. And from what we can guess, is a variety of things. That it is at the very least, 28 millimeters. And I know I'm not saying that it is 28 millimeters. I'm saying at the very least, they are 28 millimeters. They are under 54 millimeters. We can see that. There is 50 more old games that are 54 millimeter, but we know it's under that. So somewhere between 28 and 54 millimeters. Looking at the bases, looking at the scale, the pictures that we've seen with people in front of them and everything, we are somewhere between 35 millimeter bases and 40 millimeter bases for standard characters. I'm leaning, me personally, based on over 3 decades of experience, these are 40 millimeter character bases, which could mean that these characters are between 32 and 54 millimeter, 32 and 40 millimeter size in their scale. So that would put them somewhere, I think, either equal to or slightly larger than Marvel Crisis. And Marvel Crisis are relatively on the same size as, if you look at some of the miniatures, not the bases, but the scale of the miniatures, they are roughly the same size in some parts to the Star Wars Legion miniatures. It's a slight percentage difference, not huge. These ones, there's a lot about it that screams we are bigger. So these bases, I would say, are 40 millimeter bases, which probably make these 35 or 40 millimeter. And people have been asking, hey, are these going to be compatible with Legion? I think there was a post that Atomic Mass Games said, no, this is its own separate game, which has got a small bit of the fandom upset that this is just going to ruin Legion, which, guys, take a look at Games Workshop. And I know it's been around longer. You have Warhammer 40,000, you have Age of Sigmar, right? Are those games threatened by Kill Team or Warcry, Necromunda, any of those games? No, they're not. I mean, they're threatened by their own business practices, but they're not threatened by the smaller game scale. Legion is not going to dry up. You might have a small dry spell as people dive into the new game and buy product or try it out, but people always go back to what they enjoy. In Star Wars, one of the biggest things about Star Wars is the big galactic battles, and that game is not going to die like Armada is. It's not. I don't think you guys need to worry. So coming back to the size, I think these are 40 millimeter bases, which would put these probably, to be honest, at 35 to 40 millimeters in size. That's their scale. That is my best guess from over 3 decades of a gaming experience, hobbying experience, working in the industry. That doesn't mean that I'm right. I would just say that the probability is I'm right or close to it. Now, does that answer your question? No, it doesn't answer anybody's questions because we will never know until Atomic Mass Games comes out and says, hey, this is what the scale is. So we just have to wait. Probably, I doubt this week. I'm thinking the following week, the week of Thanksgiving, right before Black Friday, right before everybody takes that break for Thanksgiving, they're going to go, hey, here's our first official update for Star Wars. Now, speaking of updates, you guys are asking lots of questions, which is totally fine. I'm not telling you not to ask questions, but they got their own schedule laid out. And it's over the next few months, they've already said this, that they are going to be revealing little bits of information as we go. I think the biggest update that we're going to get, or at least our first hand viewing of playing a game, will be in 2023. Possibly Gamma which is the game industry event where the vendors and companies and local friendly local gaming store owners and such will attend the event. It's not for your regular gamers and hobbyists to go to. It's for people in the industry, and they will probably reveal a bunch there. And then the big reveal, I think, will be at Adepticon, where they will have a couple tables, probably 2 tables, depending on how much staff they send. I would say no more than 2 tables set up, probably 1, but let's go with 2. Just be super excited about that. And they'll have 2 tables set up with their core box. That's the Shatterpoint box we've all seen images of. They'll probably have 1 or 2 display cases with their Wave 1 miniatures, which we've already seen in the video. We're assuming those are the Wave 1 videos or miniatures. So that's what we're going to see coming down the line between now and June of 2023 when this launches, which will probably be the I imagine the second week of June, hopefully. So we'll get more information. It is coming. Demanding it or tagging them every 5 seconds, it's you can do it. It's just not going to get you anywhere, guys. That's all. I'm just trying to save you some grief. So now we've got bases covered, kind of alongside the bases, and when everything's coming out, we know that the terrain, this is from them, that the terrain is going to be compatible with Star Wars Legion, which got a lot of people saying these miniatures are now Star Wars Legion side. No. That does not mean that. It means that it's compatible. That means you can use it with it. The scale is close enough that the terrain can be used in Star Wars Legion, right? That's all it is saying. It's compatible with it, which is probably really brilliant because they'll be able to sell 2 pieces of terrain. And yeah, the terrain will be a little bit sized up, but we're not going to be seeing battle turrets or anything like that. We're going to be seeing buildings and debris and stuff. That's the type of stuff like we've already seen in some pictures that we've seen with Marvel Crisis Protocol, that it's roughly the equivalent, and it'll be just fine. Everything will just settle right in. You'll be able to use it for both games, which is going to mean you got 2 separate markets to buy the terrain, which I think is really, really smart on their part. Now, something I want to talk about is the core box. There are lots of videos and lots of posts about the core set. So this core set, we have no idea what the contents are. We really don't, except when we look at their opening video. And let me mute this. I'm just going to kind of fast forward a little bit and see if I can pause it just in time. Cacao. That's not the best. Let's cacao it again. And right. Oh, nope. Back it up there. There we go. Dang it. I swear I'm a professional. All right. Okay, they're not going to give me everything. But as we can see is that there are 4 miniatures on each side, and there's this multi-level, multi-tiered terrain set, and there's some terrain below it, right? So right now, there's really 2 schools of thought. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, we still don't know. We can kind of glean some facts from the videos, but we still don't know until they say, right? So the first camp is that what we're going to be getting is Ahsoka, I keep saying it, Ahsoka Tano and Lord Maul with the Super Commandos and the Night Owls and Bo-Katan and Gar Saxon across the streams there. And those are the miniatures that we're seeing in this video right here, or in this image right here. One of the Super Commandos is just off camera to the left there. But we do have 8 miniatures total. And some people believe that set plus all the terrain, the cards, the rule books, the dice, measuring tools, everything else, and the terrain and whatnot, that is the core box, which I am in that school of thought right now. And I'm going to tell you why. The Their opening shot was this, plus a little bit of the terrain. We still can't see all of it down below. But this is their opening shot, which is also the largest, most focused point on this, on the core of on the front of the core set. And if we look at the panels, on the side panels, we're seeing those characters again, not necessarily Anakin and Ventress, but we're seeing those characters that we see in that this video right here. That's very likely what is in this set. Now, the reason why I'm saying that there's only 8 characters and just this terrain is because there's a lot of terrain, and it is big terrain. And when they look at the weight of the box, the weight, trying to balance out the price point of this, that includes the terrain, the miniatures, and everything else. If they're going to be aiming for a $99 core set, which basically gives you either a 2-player set or a 1-player, really a 1-player set, just like Marvel Crisis Protocol, it is the ideal combination right there. Those 8 characters, the terrain, everything else. And yes, Marvel Crisis comes with 10 characters. It comes with 4 pieces of terrain, or a bunch of terrain. Yeah, and all the knickknacks. We got it. But these miniatures are probably bigger, and the terrain is much more massive, right? And it's a different game. Look at the starter set for X-Wing. Look at the starter set for Armada and for Star Wars Legion. Do they have, when you look at all those games, they all have 10 miniatures or 8 miniatures, 20, 30, 40. They're all different, right? And that's one of the key points about the Shatterpoint that's outside of all the hype, is that this is another of their very unique games coming from Atomic Mass Games. We already have Marvel Crisis Protocol. Now we have Shatterpoint. And this is going to be, I think, setting a new standard for miniature size and content size, and really kind of putting their foot in the door in a niche of a niche. That's why I think that. Now, other people, and they could be right. I could be 100% wrong. We all could be wrong. Is that every character you see on the cover here is going to be in that box, which should be about 16 characters. So the ones we mentioned, plus Anakin, plus Asajj Ventress, Commander Rex or Sergeant Rex or Commander, I just go with Rex, and some clone troopers, the tactical droid, and 2 bases of battle droids. Jango Fett's in there somewhere. Those are all those characters are going to be in this box. It's going to be like 16, 17 characters, right? That is one of the other leading theories, plus the terrain and all the goodies. So why that is a good idea, and the reason why I don't think that, it's a good thought. The reason why I don't think it's going to happen, besides everything else I mentioned, is the price. Once you add in twice as many miniatures of this scale, they're going to be losing money. And even if they increase the price point, they're still going to be losing money. Like the tactical droid with the 2 droid bases, the Trade Federation droids, that could be a separate box that's like $40, $45. Let's say $40. Jango Fett, $24 character if they sell him separate, kind of like they do with Star Lord and like Venom and such. That's a $24, maybe even a $30 character. Anakin and Commander Rex, or Anakin and one of the 501st, I think it's the 501st, and then Rex and another member of the 501st in their own separate boxes. Asajj Ventress in her own separate box. There's so much money that could be in there with the rest of those characters, and they still have to finish up or round out that wave 1, which they're going to need ideally 6 to 8 months worth of reveal or of product to come out for those games. So that, I think those characters that people are hoping are in there are actually part of wave 1. Is it? I don't know. You don't know. Only Atomic Mass Games knows. And I've reached out to a source, and they still haven't gotten back to me. I've done some data mining, And we still don't know. They are being extremely tight-lipped. They've been so extremely tight-lipped, it just blew our mind when they revealed this just out of the blue. I mean, it really caught us with our pants down. And as YouTubers, I mean, you've watched plenty of YouTube videos probably on Shatterpoint, hoping you get some bit of viable information. We just don't have it. I'm probably crushing some dreams right now, which, sorry? I don't know. I don't know if I should be sorry. Uh, but maybe I'm just asking, or I'm raising more questions. I'm not sure, but I think I wanted to clear up a lot of, I think, misinformation and some misconceptions, misperceptions for the Star Wars Shatterpoint before it gets ugly. Now, we're probably still about, like I said, a week away from their first official bit of information outside of the reveal. We could see it this week. I feel that we'll see it next week. I think this week we are likely going to see probably some stuff starting to pop up for the Hydra tank. Just some information, not full on information, but I think we're going to see some of the Hydra tank stuff popping up this week. That is the only other Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff that we have yet to see revealed, or the last bit of information for all the reveals so far. And we still have to see what they've got coming down the line for Marvel Crisis Protocol in 2023. So we still have 2 months of possible, or a month and a half of reveals, right? So I think next week or two, we'll see our first peak, and it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think they, along the lines of the game, to answer some of those questions you guys might have. Is it compatible with Legion? I think they already said officially, no, it is not, probably on multiple levels. Some people have asked, is it going to be compatible with Marvel Crisis Protocol, citing, their association with Marvel Comics in the past and in the present. I seriously doubt it, guys. I think this is going to be its own very unique game system. Just like, yes, there are a lot of compatible rules for Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40,000, but they don't, because the different phases and some of the different rules, they don't sync up. Just like Necromunda does not sync up with Warcry. I think it's going to be its own separate game, so don't really expect it to have a conversion. Some people are probably going to put something together and it'll be an unofficial one, which might be kind of fun to play unofficially. So there's that element to take into consideration. We'll probably have some things very similar to Marvel Crisis Protocol, though, like the set symbols, like the X-Men, the Avengers, Spider-Man set symbols that shows the different types of official gameplay or organized play, where if you have the standard play basically is, if you like, certain symbols are available just like Magic the Gathering, and certain cards and whatnot are either restricted or banned based on what set they came out of. Where the open play, or the expanded play, the expanded universe. Ooh, we can call it the expanded Shatterpoint, the expanded universe. Ooh, we can call it that. Or extended universe. Whichever it is, we can, we're just going to call it the extended universe, where we can use any card, any character, in any combination from any set, any era. It's as the game is intended versus the more restricted, organized play for balance sake. Because let's face it, games come in and out of balance. So I think we're going to have that going on. And the last little tidbit I could talk about, which I have not seen a lot of people, YouTube videos discussing it, or even discussions on the Facebook page, which understandable since the Facebook page is just, there's so many posts. My God. Is this one little line: dynamically evolving mission objectives. Now, normally when you're playing a game like, say, Marvel Crisis Protocol, how you approach mission objectives or the crisis missions, that's going to be dependent on what characters you have left that can obtain it, the best way to win and whatnot. That is a kind of a dynamic that's dynamic in itself, but this is dynamically evolving mission objectives. What does that mean? Does that mean that we're going to see missions that, hey, you have by game round 2 or game round 3 to reach this objective, and if you do not make this objective, do not complete this objective, it now becomes this, and you're going to get less points, but now it's going to be easier, or vice versa? Or are we going to be seeing a different type of card mechanic? Let's say a card mechanic, where, very similar to the team tactic cards, maybe, or just a new system where every turn or every few turns, depending on how this game runs, you draw a new random mission objective, or maybe you draw random mission objectives like mission or team tactic cards, right? And so everybody's got their own, each player's got their own cards. And once you complete a mission, do you draw a new one? Or if that mission is not something you can possibly attain, because let's say you have to take out Count Dooku's not on the table anymore, do you draw a new card? Or if they didn't bring Count Dooku, do you draw a new card and that's your new objective? Or what does this involve? I think that one, more than the base sizes, is something I'm more interested in understanding. Is that's more towards the gameplay, because we can use, really, at the end of the day, any miniature size, probably outside of like 15 millimeters for scale measuring size, but we can pretty much use any miniature size we want. But it's how this game plays that is the more, I think, the more important detail. And that's my view, not necessarily your guys's. You guys might want to know the base sizes, or you're going to be able to use any of Han Solo and Princess Leia's children, the twins, or Ben, or whatever, or get to use Mara Jade. That might be more important to you. I totally get it. God, I hope there's no Ewoks, but there's going to be Ewoks. God dang it. Murder bears. Anyways, I know those are important to you. This is what's important to me. But I think overall, we're all excited about this game, and we're hotly anticipating any little bit of official kernel of knowledge that any little crumb they toss to us. We're going to be like a flock of ravenous, well, I guess maybe pigeons aren't ravenous, but I feel like they would be ravenous if they were waiting for a little bit of information for our favorite game and our favorite IP. I'm looking forward to it because I want lightsabers flinging all around the tabletop. God, this looks very, very exciting. I hope you guys are sharing that same excitement. Let me know what you guys think about anything that we've talked about here on this episode. And as soon as we have an update, whether official, unofficial, maybe a leaked bit of information about it, we will most certainly to be doing a hot take on this. Anyways, you guys have yourself a wonderful weekend. My name is John. This is Havoc Maker Studio. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.